Welcome back, fellow armchair generals. This is Gamer 1745 with my continuing testing of Black Ice 4, Hearts of Iron 3, but Black Ice 11.1 with German gameplay augmentations, Third Reich events, the D-Worms mods, and units of the Third Reich, plus my other small mods. A little tip again, I know not everyone watches everything. This is not as stable as I would like. I would like to play a big multiplayer game. I'm not sure how well this will work out yet. That is one of the reasons I'm sort of furiously testing all of this, playing very rapidly. It seems to be the game seems to be very stable with just Black Ice. It seems rather stable if you add Third Reich events and units of the Third Reich. It's once, and I'm not sure because I haven't tried it with just one of the two, but once you add GGA and the D-Worms mod, not as stable. And those watching live here, very good, Alexandra, I started up, got in here, and played it for a few hours, maybe it took over to the next day. Tried to save it, crashed the game out. Loaded it back in, did basically the same thing, maybe let it go a few more hours, let it pause, saved it. Once you get a good save, you should do that very early. Doing it. Then it seems, so long as you're not alt-tabbing in and out a lot, that does make it unstable. That's part of the issues. If you're not doing that, it seems to be fairly stable and only really crashing on saves. So just keep that in mind if you are wanting to play this. That is partially what I'm testing is stability out. Okay, we are facing several challenges. Yes, it's May 41. Earlier, you can still see some of the bunch of forces still sitting up here. We had a British invasion here and I had just one garrison unit. This unit plus it had, which is really, it had this in here, 120 millimeter Schwer cannon that represented some coastal artillery. Yeah, it's there, but see, this thing is, the only thing it's really useful for is anti-air capacities, because these railway cannons, I know they've added railway guns to Wave 4, but these basically, I mean, soft attack is just one. These basically do no damage. What it is modifiers for fort attack and fort defense, and modifiers for urban attack and a little bit of urban defense. So it's a modifying unit, not an effective unit in and of itself. But it also has a weight of 1,000. So I don't really have enough ships to be able to move it back. So it didn't get back. So all I had was this. So they did a naval invasion, and they got about occupying about this part of it. And I brought over a Panzer division, or Panzer Corps, I mean, not a division, a whole corps here, to suppress that. And now it's May, and I'm now out of place even more. So I have decided to do one of my often done, so I was thinking of trying to do a 1941 invasion of the Soviet Union. Hey, Sir Toyjet. Yes, we are in your homeland. Now, after the British liberation attempt, there was a local uprising that got about these provinces here. But since we did have the Panzer Division already in place, we moved it over here. And we've also crushed another local uprising here. And earlier there was an uprising way up in here that we had crushed. So Norway has been very revolting. And that's distracted my invasion of the Soviet Union. So this invasion wasn't too bad by Britain. It got a few divisions, 2 or 3 ashore. Then it moved another 4 or so, and then I crushed them. And that is a problem with these invasions. Now this wasn't so bad because it was up in Norway, and I had a mountain, well, almost 2 corps of mountain divisions, but they were sort of scattered all over the place, so couldn't really respond rapidly. So it wasn't too bad of a situation. Now, just to give you some history, back in For the Motherland, and before I gathered, but I started playing this with For the Motherland DLC, Britain used to do a lot of invasions, and they were really sort of stupid. And counterproductive, meaning you could leave a port open. If it saw a port that was open, it would invade, bring in a bunch of troops, and then you could just have units sitting back here and just crush them. And you could rinse and repeat and just bleed Britain white. What would really be good, and the way they could have fixed it is with their code in there, is have a check to see if Germany was at war with, I don't know what SAG means. SAD? With the weird added thing to it? I don't know. If you're at a war with the Soviet Union, then it would make a lot more distracting sense. But it's distracting me. So I'm going to continue. I have the Africa Corps here. I've got a lot of air units around here that are doing naval strikes on this part. And I've got part of the Kriegsmarine here, but not that much. So what I'm doing is the Kriegsmarine is going on a bit of an expedition. I've got it stuck sort of here. It's been rounding Africa, and I'm going to give it a little bit of a pause here. And I'm going to try to get it around Africa to Mogadishu in the port here, and then bring it up here, and because we own currently the Suez Canal, we're going to bring it in here, join these forces up with these naval landing craft, not those, and these to get a big enough thing, and try to take out Malta. Okay, yes, you're right, Arno, but what because I'm playing with GGA installed, we have a Revolver Held has made I would say somewhat historical, I don't know how well researched this is, garrison force here. So we have this field division, which doesn't give, or HQ, which doesn't give combined arms because it's not that. Pretty light garrison detachment, police, reconnaissance, and some these, and these vary in around the country here. So we have a bunch of them sort of occupying and doing some garrisons. I do have some of these guys here. What I do know is that eventually, and it sort of needs to take America to come in 1942, they will be spamming out a bunch of these units, these fortress divisions that you can see here. They move at 2 kilometers per hour, where a regular infantry regiment here moves at 4. So it's not impossible to move them, but it's just and we could build them, but you can see it's 0.75 of an IC to create. It's not that good. I mean, it's not nearly the it's 14 soft attack versus, for a regular infantry regiment, 26. And so you will be getting a bunch of events that spam these out at somewhat historical. What do you think about Warhammer? Pretty good. I enjoyed playing it. You can check out some of my videos. I recently played the latest DLC for it. I like Battle Sector much better. Because Battle Sector, and they're coming out with a new DLC for Warhammer 40k Battle Sector that will add the Necrons. to it with another storyline there. Battle Sector is probably the best, in my opinion, the best, though I haven't played everything. That's why I say probably. I haven't played most. But a very good representation of the standard, tabletop miniatures battle Warhammer 40k game. So if that's what you want to play, if you want to play something that you have, you build a base, and you build factory units and housing units and those type of things, and you create other units that then go out and try to conquer other areas in a sort of hex pattern sort of world map, if you will, not complete global, but it's a regional map or whatever. If you want to play that type of game, yeah, I think it's pretty good. So you can check out the videos there. Well, we're going to maybe see about taking out Gibraltar. Yes, there is. Narcic? I don't know. Narcic? Yes, there is a version of it. You can go to the you can go to my new recent install guide that I released earlier this week. What was it, Monday or Tuesday? I think it was Tuesday. And there it should be links to the forums where to download all of the currently available mods. I'm testing it. There are some issues. You can see my also earlier this week I save game crashing and how best to avoid it. But yeah, it's here, and I'm continuing to solve problems, minor ones mostly. Hopefully we got one solved today that was a black ice issue, not an issue with the submods. So we're going to look at Alexandria, a Mediterranean first, which our first invasion will be to take out Malta. We've obviously already got earlier over there. To naval invade Gibraltar, you have to come from this Western Arborian Sea. You can't come in from the Gibraltar State, even though it's sort of straight, even though it sort of looks like it, or the coast of Cadiz Sea province to invade. It has to come in here, and you have to be able to get by here. And Gibraltar, the British having it here, blocks entry into the Mediterranean for surf or for any fleets. So that is part of the reason to be able to get this fleet here with the Deutschland, Admiral Scheer and Admiral Hipper, along with this. Now, the reason I have the Graspe and these, at least the destroyers and the light cruisers, is they were quote unquote trapped in the Mediterranean at the start of the war, and I had them interred. I wasn't using them as any naval force, playing sort of role playing historically, interred up in Venice until Italy joined the war. Sort of like the I want to say Emden, but I don't know, the German cruiser that was interred in Istanbul until it was turned over to the Turkish government in World War One. But so they stayed in there, and then once Italy was in the war, then they started operating in the Mediterranean. So that's how we have a small, well, not that small, but not that big either, German fleet operating in the Mediterranean. But now that we have the Suez open, we are trying to get the Kriegsmarine up into the Mediterranean to join forces to first invade Malta. Then, because we have these longer range landing craft, we should be able to launch from here and hopefully be able to take out Gibraltar. That is sort of the goal. Don't know that we're getting to it in this episode or today's stream. Got it recently. We played it. Figured it would be neat to hear. Yeah, so yeah, you can. Yeah, I like it, and I wouldn't be against someday playing, multiplayer with you guys on that. Well, that is and we are taking out Oman, right? Yeah, Oman. Brain still isn't working terribly great this morning. And we are helping out with battles up here in Sudan with the Italians, and the Italians are going to do much better now that they have supply links in there. I just wish people wanted to watch me play non-historical strategy games a bit more, because like I love Battle Sector. Battle Sector I think is great, but it does very poorly on the channel. A little bit more to try to put down our descent some with an extra. Civilian goods. Okay, requisition. I don't need to. Okay. Okay. Electro steel welding technology advance. Very nice. Let's shift this over to steel armor casting, attritional warfare. I think we'll leave that going. Yes, 1940 technology. And self-propelled artillery brigade advance. That was there. And grayed out now. And yeah, we're mostly now researching 1942 technologies. Well, we have a bunch of 41s that we're already researching, but we're adding new stuff is 42. No, I think we want to do more stuff getting ready. Okay, heavier artillery. Getting ready, not this year, is it going to turn out there? Now, I really wish I could better plan out. What is this fleet? I don't know. Hello, cool gamers. 1199.7, or is that supposed to be 1997 or something, or 1997? I don't know. How you doing today? Plan out longer operations. Okay, yes, they're gun turrets have advanced. Okay. That would be here. Great deal. Yeah, we'll buy some fuel just to get good relations with Sweden. Well, I really quite honestly haven't looked at them. I do know that they have made changes. Okay, so it's basically they're turning Guam into a two place island. Same with Iwo Jima. That's jarring. You see the Mount Suribachi image there, and then English countryside or something. Yeah. I knew they'd done some changes. I hadn't quite looked at this. So here's the problem with this. This might be really good for a human player playing as Japan. Right now it's even a coastal fort. Well, this doesn't look good. Okay, this doesn't look good. Iwo Jima, Guam, Guadalcanal, obviously. Guadalcanal a little better, maybe. What I can see is what they're trying to do is they're trying to take a grand strategy game and give you a little more tactical options. This coastal fort, to the best of my knowledge, does not help you on land attacks. So meaning if the Americans, presumably, land here and take this, then attacking Mount Suribachi, this doesn't get you any improvements. It should have either pillboxes or maybe a fortress. Maybe there'll be an event later on. That could be. That very well could be a fortification event for particularly here. Because if you were to fortify this, that would make this much harder to take. And again, for a human player who can make a bit more of a rational idea of, let's stick a unit here, but the AI is going to always see this here as the vulnerable place with the port and want to put the defenses here. And right now, with this just being a coastal fort, here, well, we don't really see any details, but we do say have anti-aircraft guns. Yeah, I don't know. Well, both the USA is underpowered and Hawaii a lot compared to how it was in real life. Okay, yeah, good to hear about the event. Well, okay, I have not played a game with the United States. But the United States prior to 1940 should have extremely little power because it's going through the Great Depression. The only thing they even build on a little bit is in the Navy in the 1930s. Starting in 1939, they start building up more of the Navy because of the outbreak of the war in Europe in the 38 and 39, you know, the troubles with Czechoslovakia and heightened tensions over Poland, and then obviously the outbreak of war with the invasion of Poland. The U.S. starts building up its naval capacity in 39. 40, America is not doing very much at all military buildup for itself. It is starting to ramp up its production to sell to Britain and France. France falls, that scares the hell out of the United States, and they start. So this is only, you know, summer, you know, effectively 1940 do they start building themselves up. And so you see that America is only really gets into the war going good in Europe late 42, 43. And there, all they're able to do is mess around in North Africa and like Sicily kind of thing. They only take Rome, here, the day before they do the D-Day landings in 44. So that's June 44. Are they only able to finally get in to take Rome? Now, I've recently been playing Warplan Pacific. I mean, it was last year, but it's another really good strategy game. Not as detailed as Hawaii 4, but in some ways better, in some ways not, obviously. The U.S., even there, is just mostly reacting through 42 to Japan. So, and, you know, trying to hold out in places like Guadalcanal and trying to, you know, get a little bit offensive in this area. So I don't know that it's that bad. It's a, you know, it's 43, 44, 45. It should become overwhelming. Because I was one of those who did these changes. Oh, you are? Okay. I did testing and fighting in Guam and Iwo Jima School. Japan is leaving Suribachi empty, and there's these grinds between it and Iwo Jima. Okay. Yeah, it's the AI. Yeah, the AI is always going to see the port as being the place to defend, and we can't make a unit that the AI can't move. That's why they made these garrisons super heavy, and I presume you know that, but others may not. And there is, oh no, it's well, I noticed they removed assault rifle technology here for some reason, and I don't know why. I guess maybe it's here somewhere. Oh, maybe it's, no, it's naval. Is it naval? Oh boy, I don't know where it is. There's a technology. I thought it was, oh, here, Garrison Deployment technology. You can see here it reduces the weight of garrisons and tropical island garrisons and other sorts of things to a manageable amount, but only a human player gets to do this. So the AI, and this is to trap, mainly it was done to trap Japanese units here because the AI would take them away and have them fight in China and then never bring them back. So, yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Like I say, I think this would be better a human player playing as Japan. I don't know how this helps. Yeah, I get the idea that if they're garrisoning both. See, and again, I haven't played this, so I'm just looking at this. I'm going to presume you have a fortification or something event that'll spam in a garrison unit. But if you had one garrison unit, or let's say two garrison units protecting a single position island, that would be two garrison units strong. Where here, if you have two garrison units, AI will put one here and one here. So when the Americans invade, yes, I understand that they get to land, bring in supplies, and then attack the other half of the island instead of just having a naval invasion. I don't know that that's going to be helpful. There was a bit of a longer campaign with the Americans down here and the Japanese up here. I don't know. Usually gets better anyway. There's fierce fighting between the two provinces rather than simple invasion battle. Yeah. Change the code so divisions spawn there too. Yeah, okay. So yeah. I mean, like I say, I haven't played it, so I'm only just doing from what I know of Hoi 3 behavior, which I know it quite well. I played a lot of Hoi 3, including playing as Japan, but I've not played as the United States. I will someday, I hope, to build instant port to provide supplies. Yeah, we'll see how that goes as a Japanese AI versus an American AI. Coming here eventually, see how the Pacific. Okay. They lost 2 destroyers out here. And our ship here is convoy raiding. Somehow we took out 2 destroyers with our convoy. I think these convoy raiders are, and it's going to go home to repair up. Good. A bit overpowered. We would get, yes. Yeah, see, these things seem to be overpowered. They're more powerful than submarines. And the way that they're more powerful than submarines is that they have an incredibly long range, and the AI doesn't seem to be able to catch them. It does. I mean, right here we do have some Italian submarines moving around. It does obviously notice the attacks and will move forces looking for them, but they rarely seem to. And this is the first time I've had one actually in combat for a long time. So I don't know. They seem to be over there. We are playing Boy 3, and we are playing a Mediterranean first campaign. Okay, well, let me save this again, just to make sure things are going. Like I say, normally once we get it saved right once. Okay, now, what we're going to do is we're going to head these guys. So I'm looking here, these long-range submarines. They're sort of what I'm worried about. I know these are Italian, but so they've been moving around here, and by doing that, they're sort of stirring up trouble for us. In that, now I don't think, I don't know. Maybe Italy did have long-range submarines. I don't know why they're building so many. Now that we've broken out of the Mediterranean, they're being useful. But I would think that they're spending too much. Oh, they've had a minor engagement here. Okay. If we lose a... No, I think it was just those three. Deutschland, Admiral and Admiral. Pretty sure. Okay, well. I think that's all it was. Let's continue our rebasing. Hopefully no more engagements. Let's check some other fronts here. I know I've been talking a bunch. Put that at now. Metal. Hungry. Hungry for metal. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, what are we fighting? Okay, just, a battleship. We lost none. How bad are we off? Okay, not really bad at all. Good. I know Mr. Z-Plan Toyjet will think we should have had our proper German battleships, but oh well. Require unit training. Yeah, we'll leave these go. They're good, but we'll shift that to something else, I think. Good. And close air support pilot. Keep swinging around. Okay, well, we bumped into them again, took out a... Where it looked like. Uh-oh, uh-oh, uh-oh. Run. We've lost, yeah, one of the, not the Deutschland, not the Admiral Hipper. We lost the Deutschland. Uh-oh, we lost the Admiral Scheer and the Deutschland. Though they took out the battleship, the Ark Royal went down. Oh, damn. Oh, damn. Well, maybe we'll make it the rest of the way. Yes, you can have money for crude oil. Well, having industry and forces for fighting in Russia and securing the Mediterranean more important than heavy ships. It's not hard. Yeah. Another invasion I tried with just this fleet. No, the Italians are coming here. They took out this fleet, and I went back to an earlier save. I'm tempted to do that here, but if we can just get these guys going, it's hardly worth it now. Okay, single engine armament. Out. Okay, if we don't bump into anything else, we're... Well, we lost 2 pocket battleships. Did take out a battleship, but I don't really care about that. I care about getting my ships to use, because I really want to do avoidance, not conquest. Okay, high density alloys advance. That is here in grayed out. Good. Twin engine armament research. We're going to stop. We may be shifting in bombing site advance. That. Then we can do IFF. Saw something here. So I don't know they spotted us. We're moving pretty fast at almost 19 kilometers per hour. So we can outrun a lot of pursuit unless it's right on us. I really wish I could plot a thing further out from the coast. So, what are we doing here? Okay, we've won here. You don't need to keep pursuing that. You join this fight. These guys can come in and occupy there. Okay, we've got that. Pushing in there. You can support the attack. Okay, jungle unit training, very nice. And we're going to keep that going because we're not very jungly yet. An SS Panzer Grenadiers. That is here, and we're going to let these go. Now, I do take and background. It's missing. It's not one of mine, but I think it's just missing. And not that it's not showing up. Okay, well, we can. Well, we're going to leave 2 of these guys, Scharnhorst and Gneisenau, in production because they're part way completed here. We have a bunch more air or naval air. Let's see. We're going to add 2 more of these guys. These guys are going to be very powerful, I think. But as I was starting to say, I don't know that all of the, well, these have some other stuff in them, but all of these are going to be useful if you're playing with GGA. So like I just did, I took the event, which gives you, you're paying for it. not maybe the full cost, if you will, but we got the SS Panzer Corps. Whether all of these will be useful here, the Panzer Corps. I do find the mountain corps, and we're getting a lot of them, but them a little bit more useful, and the airborne, though we're also getting a lot of them. You can decline them if you want to, especially like with GGA, because GGA, let's see, I'll illustrate that here, has a lot of Army Corps that it's giving you here, and they're all fairly generic in strength. And these are all historical ones. Now, I would say from my readings, I mean, I've never obviously commanded a corps, but it seems to me that it's best to have, in real life, about 3 divisions to a corps. Obviously, you can have just 1 division attached to the corps command, though that might be done because you have 2 other corps, each with 3 divisions, and you have a 7th division, and you need to put it under a corps headquarters, and you don't want to overly burden one of the corps headquarters with an additional division to manage. And it's not just to tell it what to do, but do all the sort of corps level management you do for divisions. And so he, Revolverheld, the guy who makes GGA, has been putting in all these historical corps here. And many of them are showing up in Berlin. Now with Hoi 4, let's try to click on one here. Oh, that's a 3 corps. A bunch of these are just sort of 3 corps or 4 corps. They're going to get some more divisions attached to them. It's better to have a 5 division corps, because the way the game mechanics works, it will transfer up more experience to the corps commander and more quickly, and make them stronger. So that's what we sort of do. So unless you want to play particularly historical, you get a lot of extra corps, and so you might not need to take it. And if you're playing with, and I'm even overdoing some of this, if you're playing with units of the Third Reich, this somehow got there, I think it's an event given here, but we can see here all of these divisional headquarters, units of the Third Reich adds, very historical. So you have a large number. So when you make a division, you should, oh, well, this one has, oh, somehow I stuck in that. Well, you know what we're going to do? We're going to leave that there, and we're going to move this here. I'm going to use that HQ somewhere else. And so we now have that. Let's find a divisional commander that looks pretty good. There we go. Yeah, I think Army Group, well, this is sort of both Army Group North and Army Group Center. I'm going to send you, you will have some use for other HQs, but not terribly many. Just wrote on the Hoi 4 Steam page, the silly AI air deployments and obsolete German bomber fleet Germany starts with in 36, which is hard to replace before war starts with HE. It did historically. Well, very good, Beam Slam. I hope they pay attention to that. Yeah. Yeah, I do rant, but I don't just do it because to do it. I do it when something hits me that I find important to rant about, whether real life or in the game. Obviously, game is part of real life, but yeah. Okay, so we are going to make mechanized, and I found that these to be fairly fairly cheap actually. A mechanized brigade in multi-regiment here. Sturmgeschütz artillery, armored cars, and for some reason right now armored engineers are cheaper than motorized engineers, so we're going to do that. And I think that is that what I have here? Whatever it was I figured out earlier. Artillery. Yeah, that's it. Yeah. Um, and these are only just about 11 IC here. We're going to do 2 of those. Because what we have here, you need to sort of pay attention to these. You got these here that have come based on various historical reasons. Jaeger divisions that were also, and you're paying for these divisions with, they're not free. With, like you can see here, the various penalties. I think there's one that's standard for a long time for units of the Third Reich. So it's not free divisions, but it is sort of, I don't know, prepaid divisions or something. And these guys, with the light infantry, but with proper supporting units, are going to be excellent compared to other things. I mean, they're not perfect. Fighting in these swamps and these forests up in here, so they're going to be very useful. Elite light infantry. Light infantry. Okay. They're with decent anti-tank and artillery support. But we do, did I pull them all? I try to get some of these guys out from being overly stacked into Berlin. Oh, we're missing, oh, he got pulled out again. Keep pulling out my leader for, well, I'll get a new one. For Flieger Fighter Corps, one that hopefully will reduce supply usage a bit. There we go. We'll use it. Yeah. As a we're all on. Okay, like who isn't? He isn't up. Okay, he's on the Eastern Front, but we're not really doing. You can see currently the air war. And this is a problem here. Oh, well, they've yet to do the U.S. bases over here, so that's because the U.S. is not yet into the war. There's not a lot of air activity over here. There was some when the British were up here. They actually brought in some air power up there, so we had some air battles over Norway. We are having some here, but okay, we're gonna wait to invade to see if we can get these guys. Oh, they're bombing us. Okay, there goes the Admiral Hipper. Nuremberg, Leipzig. Well, so sinks the Kriegsmarine. So goes down Admiral Raider. Could we have made it? Could we have made it? Possibly if I paused up here longer to let some of these units, because if this unit here, these units here were enable thing. Now, if they were here and sort of spotted, them coming around because they're going along the coast, and dashed out to intercept them, no. But if they were transiting and just bumped into them, could have waited a bit longer, maybe. There should be limitations on the range, absolutely. But I really wish I could have. We're just talking with Beam Slam about some of the unhistoricity of Hoi 4. But God, I wish I could have my version of the melding of the two games. Wouldn't be the perfect game, but it'd be a very good game. See, if we could have, like you can now in Hoi 4, is like block out C zones. Like say, do not move anything under any circumstances through, the English Channel, so that if I'm going to, move a fleet from, Kiel or Hamburg or something to the Indian Ocean, it won't automatically go the shortest line here and just get destroyed. So you could block out C zones, block out, like an immediate here or something, so that it swings wide out into the, Indian Ocean before coming around. And come around here. So, but yeah, okay, well, we lost the fleet. The Greater Kriegsmarine fleet just got sunk. Well, I'm going to save this here and end this episode, not the live stream, but the episode. I want to thank you all for watching. You can post questions, tips, comments below. And if you would, hit the like button. If you're live on YouTube right now, you can hit the like button. And of course, if you're new here, subscribe. See you next time for even more Hearts of Iron.